Hey, welcome back, Forbes. Great to have you here again.
Glad to be here.
Podcast number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah.
Just keep getting them done, eh?
Yeah. We're just reminiscing. The first one was back at your place in Darfield.
The old barn was indeed. Graham was brought onto the scene for that, wasn't he?
Totally.
Yeah.
So way back in December 2023.
Fuck. 2025 now. Years are rolling by, David.
How was 2024 for you?
It was hectic, hey. It was like it was interesting, definitely. We had like a real good 2023 and it was like on cloud 9. And then there was a lot of stuff that happened in 2024, like awkward stuff, but good stuff. Growth stuff, like real growing pains, like, ow, fuck, this hurts. But I think you do need to go through them and it's funny because I went through them in like 2019, then COVID, which was awful. And then you like came through that and you're like, oh, I'm here now. I don't need to do that again. But I think you're constantly maybe doing that. Like you're constantly having to dive back into that uncomfortableness and learning why you're down in that part.
I think it is a price of growth. I think it is one of those things that you can't have the good without the bad.
So true.
And if you got constant good, then you're probably becoming immune to it, or you're not really appreciating it anywhere near as much as when you've got the good and the bad.
Exactly. Well, I mean, like it's like that sign right there. Like that wouldn't be that sign if it didn't have the black and the white, the dark and the light.
Yeah.
So it's like you need those things to appreciate each stage you're in.
The contrast.
But it's like being okay with that and like, oh, I'm okay with this fluctuation of like good and bad. And so it was sort of the first time where I'd noticed like a few fluctuations and I was like, oh, okay, this probably isn't actually going to go away, you know? So I was okay with the discomfort, but it was this is going to probably happen multiple times throughout my career was getting used to that mindset, I'd say. Yeah.
How do you handle that on a day-to-day basis? Like, I guess you've got a few different types of problem. I think, if you were to break them down into ones that you can do something about, and then sometimes you're just feeling off, right? Like sometimes you're just not in the game for whatever reason.
Exactly.
And all the usual tricks that you've got up the sleeve
don't work.
They don't work.
I know, like, go for a run. You go for a run, it doesn't work. You're like, fuck's sake. I've just run 10K for what? To be fucking puffed, But no, I think that's a really good point. And through that first lot of growing pains back in 2019, it was like running was my thing. And it was like running would make me feel okay with what I'm going through because I'm like, okay, well, if I can run and be uncomfortable for 10K or whatever, I can be in that discomfort with business and hard conversations to have. But then through this time, it was a complete opposite. Like my fitness went completely on the back burner. And it was just like I felt like I needed to be really like away from that and like almost hibernate to get through it. And I did do that, but then I got back into the fitness and the running and things like that once I'd sort of gone through it. So I don't know, I think it changes. I think sometimes you do need to just get away and like hibernate, but then that has its downfalls as well. So the coping mechanisms, I don't know, I think they change as you grow as a person as well.
Which is hard, because you're simultaneously trying to discover what the new thing is, right?
Yeah.
The new fix, the new solution.
Oh, I know.
I mean, just this morning, right, I tried one of the recent tools that have been added to my toolbox, which is the ocean swim.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dion, right?
Oh, so good.
And so I think that's somewhat helped. I think that's like, it's definitely not hurt.
Yes.
And I was thinking the whole way through it, like this is the medicine.
Yes.
Like this is the thing that will potentially get me back in a good mood.
Yes. Yeah. I think also like sometimes we can get in this thing where we are in this discomfort. We find a way that helps us work through this discomfort. Maybe running, gymming, swimming in ocean water, whatever. And we come out of this lull and we're sort of at this top and we're riding this top wave. And then it's sort of, we go, oh, I don't need to do that. I'm feeling good. And so then that's the despise of it, because it's then dropping back down again because you've stopped doing what got you to the top in the first place. I don't know if that happens to you, but that sometimes happens to me, where I've like climbing. I'm good. Throw that away.
Yeah.
Down.
That's
and then you're like,
relatable. Yeah.
Shouldn't have thrown that away.
Yeah, I mean, another way to look at it is like life is that bicycle spoke,
Yeah.
you know, like, and you've got the core components of life. So like fitness, business, relationships, friendships, community, and then, you know, like trying to have this perfectly well-rounded, nice linear wheel.
Yeah.
Like that's never the case.
I
right?
know.
You're never absolutely perfect.
I know. And I think it's being okay with that.
I guess so.
Yeah. And as long as you're like taking actions, moving forward, whether it be like in leaps and bounds or in a micro step, just move forward. Like it could be like if we're in a building sense on a site, like sweep the floors. Well, they still needed sweeping.
Yes.
You didn't need to have a hard day like fucking whacking nails in all day, but like as long as you're constantly in that moving forward mindset, I think it's really important.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I was going for a walk before with a mate that's going through a bit of a tough time or something, and he, you know, was just talking about like the impact one conversation can have, like one serendipitous conversation, or like bumping into someone that's like uplifting, or just sort of flips you out of your funk, right?
Oh, totally.
And he was giving this example of bumping into like an old mate, and he just said like it just had such like a profound impact on his trajectory for the day.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's cool if you can somehow manufacture that.
Yes.
And I guess like IHF does that to quite consistently.
It does.
Like your odds of running into someone in there are pretty high.
Most probably going to see who you thought you would see.
Yeah.
If not someone that will lift your mood.
So what would you say you've learned in the last year? Like, is there any massive, obvious takeaways?
Yeah, there's a few. There's like being okay with it not going the way that you thought it was, and that it's probably going to pass. It's okay to downscale for the benefit of then being able to grow again. And if you want something, just fucking don't stop till you get it, eh?
Just
Like,
do it.
Just do it. Like, it's actually quite a simple equation, really. Like, regardless of the journey there, if you know you want something, just go through those motions to get it.
So being focused.
Taking
action.
Taking action, yeah. And it can be hard. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not fucking easy. Like,
Yeah, you don't
crikey.
just do it. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's definitely mornings you wake up and you're just like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, this does not feel natural, comfortable, any of the above. But you just got to roll out of bed and smile and drink the champagne, eh? Show up to the party, eh?
I've been loving this theory lately of just doing the one thing, like looking at your to-do list and isolating the one thing.
We talked about that, on the other day in the sauna. Like you said, we can often overcrowd a to-do list, but there's probably only one thing that you need to do on that to-do list. But you're creating the list to make it feel like you could tick everything off but the one thing that you want, and you still feel productive.
Yes.
But we know if you highlight that one issue and just did it, it'd be so much more beneficial to your day, week, month, year, whatever.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been talking a bit about Jesse Itzler lately.
We have.
And the theory of that misogi and the one focus for the year.
Yeah.
Do you have a misogi this year? You don't have to say what it is, but do you have one or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cool theory, right?
It is a really cool theory. Just in one thing that's going to impact your 365 days, like that's just that one task that will, like whether it be run 100 miles is his example, that's going to impact him for 365 days till he needs to do the next massive thing that will, it's such a cool theory.
It's really cool, yeah. Yeah, for anyone not familiar, it's a Japanese word.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means in Japanese, but I'm sure it's probably
sounds
something
cool
like
on Instagram.
The one thing.
Yeah.
Fact check that.
Yeah, totally. But also got one of his like big ass calendars.
Oh yeah.
And like got it customized with like Kershaw construction on the letterhead, and like nailed that up on the wall, and not builder's fashion, just with some fucking 4-inch nails whacked in, because I was so eager to like get it up on the wall. And I was like, okay, I wouldn't do that in the client's house, but I was just so eager to like see it, and it's huge.
How big?
It's like 1.2 by 900, I think.
Oh yeah.
So it's like decent, but it's so visual. And I was like, okay, and like it sends you like green, red, purple, orange, like different coloured sticky things that you stick on the days. So I'm going through like figuring out, okay, well, everyone's birthdays are going to be green, meetings are going to be purple, end of projects are going to be red, start of projects are going to be orange, whatever, you know, like it was. And then you're sticking them on, and you're sort of like working through the months, and you're like, oh yeah. And then you like get to the end, you like stand back and you look at it, you're like, I need more time. Because it's so visual, and you think a year, 365 days is long. It's not.
You've either got to find more time, or you got to remove some stuff.
You've got to either, 100%.
One or the other, though, right?
Yeah. But it's just like you take weekends out of that, you take public holidays, and I was watching things like disappear, and I'm like, in my mind, I thought I had shitloads of time this year. But when you visually see what's up here, what people expect of you, what you need to achieve, and you stick it on something that says this is your year, and you go, fuck, what I'm thinking in my mind is actually probably 2 years worth of stuff. Or that can then change your mindset and be like, reframe it and go, okay, how can I fit 2 years worth of stuff in 1 year? So it is interesting. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I think time's this interesting commodity. You know, you think about a year, but then also if you go right into a daily view, right? Like the 16 hours that we've got.
Yeah.
How you spend them, you know, where does that time go?
Yeah.
How do you prioritize things? Like such an ongoing fascination and a recurring theme.
Yeah.
Both in the podcast and life in general. But
yeah,
I don't know. I think there's a lot of dumb shit that gets done on a daily basis.
Oh, totally. And I put my hand up to being part of that.
Me too. I'm not pointing the finger.
I know. It's just like such a funny thing to jug away. Like before, I used to always like reply to emails like when I first got up, then go on site, then at the end of the day. So start and the end of the day. And then when I was in that real like lull of like, okay, this is really painful, I was like, no, I need my rest. And then I'm going to start my day, and my day is emails, talking to people and things like that. But then that removed me from the physical building side of it. And it was fucking awful. It was like, what? Like I didn't want to wake up. You didn't want to do your, because it was just like this really painful, this is not what I signed up for. I just signed up to be a creative, architectural, bespoke builder, not a admin person that's having painstakingly conversations that do not benefit me, but are needed to have to potentially move the business in the direction that you want it to move. And then it was like, that seemed to drag on way longer than I wanted. And so then it was like, actually, fuck that. Let's go back to what I was doing just an hour before and an hour afterwards. And then I was doing the same amount of work that hour before and that hour after. I was still achieving the same amount of book work. But
you were managing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas before I was like, oh, fucking 9 to 5 doing book work. Like,
yeah.
Whether it's, nah, fuck that. Like, let's move it, condense it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No phone, in the office at 5 a.m. for an hour. And you're like, set up for the day. You've replied to all, you've almost put your fires out before they have started. You can continue the day without being hassled. Finish the day and then reply to what's been replied to in the morning. You know, that constant communication, but have it either side of the day.
Yeah, I don't remember that rule, but there's that rule or law that, you know, talks about time filling a space, right?
Yeah.
So if you've got 3 days to do something, it'll take 3 days.
Yes.
But if you've got 3 hours, you'll get it done.
Exactly.
So it's a bit like that with admin and bookwork sometimes, right?
Fucking 100%.
Yeah.
Like, you can drag that out because you're scrolling Instagram, talking to mates on Messenger, open Snapchat a few times,
Repeat the cycle.
5 times,
Yeah.
and reply to 5 emails, well, you've filled your day in. But if you leave that distraction out of it, you've done that in 30, 40 minutes of what you were doing in a day.
Yeah.
Such a stupid thing.
Yeah, we've had that chat a few times now.
Yeah.
The talk around smartphones and addiction and
Get rid
screen
of them.
time. You've actually taken action.
I've
A
taken
lot of people
action.
talk about this theory, but you've actually taken
I've
action.
taken action.
Yeah.
Especially in my industry, it's like I really enjoy my physical side to my job. And, you know, if I'm picking up, let's say 30 phone calls a day, I'm not doing the physical side. It's like this back and forth,
Stopping,
starting,
changing.
and it's like it actually fucks with your brain big time, because it's like something about, don't quote me on it, but it was like 20 minutes it takes you to get engrossed in a task, like fully focused, like enjoying it, not enjoying it, whatever. You're in the task 20 minutes in. If there was an awful email, a phone call, an awful text, whatever, and after that 20 minutes, it then takes you a certain amount of time, like 4 times longer, to get back engrossed in what you were already engrossed in. Because of that, you're thinking about what you've just talked about, seen, heard, spoken, whatever. And so it's like, I'd really try and not answer my phone through that 9 to 5 period. Don't get me wrong, if it's urgent, 100%. But if it's a fluff conversation about, whatever, I can't
Some noise.
It's like, I want to enjoy my day. Is it really important? No. Okay. Then we can have a conversation either side of my physical working day.
Yeah.
And so I've tried do not disturb. I've tried airplane mode. I've tried deleting apps. I've tried all sorts. I think the last podcast we were talking about, we deleted Instagram, and it was like, that was great. But then you can log on your computer
you
and
can get around it.
You can get around it.
Yeah.
And so I just was like, nah, enough's enough. Like, this has to, like, you're not going to win against a company that's paying billions of dollars to keep you attached to a screen. And so we actually had a conversation before I went too deep into investigating it. And it was like, oh yeah, no, let's do it. Like, let's have a look at some dumb phones and like flip phones. And we were like going on this tangent. And I was like, well, that's cool. And I went on this real like in-depth looking into like what would be best for me. And flip phones, still really annoying because you're like double tapping like little buttons that builders' fingers probably press all 3 at once or shit like that. And then I came across this light phone and I was like instantly sold, because it was like phone, text, directions, music. That's it. And it was like, love it.
And is it like a credit card?
Well, they've gone through a whole heap of different types. So there is one that's like the size of a credit card. That was like their first one, was like the size of a credit card. Could make 9 calls or something.
9 calls?
Or something like that. Yeah, like it was really, really like early days of them. And there was a really good reaction from it because people liked being focused. Because we all like being focused.
Totally.
But something's distracting us in that wanting to be focused mindset. And then it's almost putting a negative spin on how we talk to ourselves because, oh, you fucking idiot, you're not focused. Like, focus. And so then that internal talk that you're having with yourself, oh, like, stop scrolling, you're a fucking idiot, like, stop scrolling. It weighs on you, man.
It reaffirms what your fear is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just this compounding problem that gets bigger and bigger and bigger because your self-talk is awful towards yourself about it. You know you shouldn't be doing it. You want to be focused. You know you can be focused. It's just a vicious cycle.
It is a vicious cycle. Yeah.
And I was just like, no, like I'm not for that. And so I ordered a light phone and just waiting for it to come and
that'll be interesting.
throw the old one out. I just don't.
See you later, iPhone.
Yeah, like emails are like a letter they opened and replied to within due course. If it's emergency, obviously, you respond. But mornings and nights for that, before and after work, and important phone calls throughout the day. Keep it simple.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
I think we've gone in this weird full circle. I think we've, especially having an older dad, he's like, phones, like grew up without them. It was a Sunday night that he'd call all of his people to organise for the week. You either rocked up or you didn't. No hard feelings, whatever. Start the next week. It was simple.
Yeah.
Then we got introduced to phones and this constant connection, and that then gave us this sense of entitlement that I'm more important than everything you're doing. And so then you imagine all your contacts have that mindset, like contacting you. You just feel almost hopeless in a situation because they're like, me. And you're like, what about me?
Yeah.
Hang on a minute, like I'm human too.
Yes.
And so I just think we've gone in the wrong direction with communication. And I think we're almost going back to like what it used to be like we'll talk when we need to talk, we'll communicate when we need to communicate, and just not overdoing it.
Yeah, I think this has got some real merit, this whole theory.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if in maybe 5-10 years there's a significant shift.
Yeah.
As this becomes more normalized, this kind of chat.
Definitely.
I mean, you just pull out your screen time, right? Like it's
sickly.
It's disgusting.
Like
it is not good.
like
at all.
Oh, what did I say mine was the other day? Fucking 6 hours or something.
It's like a work day.
And I was like, I used to painfully sit in a schoolroom for and I was like, this is a long time. And I've just spent that looking at a fucking screen.
It's crazy.
It's just not on.
It's not on. If you were to multiply that by the population.
Don't even do that.
That's a lot of productivity loss, right?
Oh, it's terrible.
It is terrible.
Yeah.
It's probably almost as bad as the fast food epidemic.
Well, they're all very similar things, aren't
Maybe
they?
even worse.
I reckon it's worse. Because there is like a lot of physical action with eating. But mental, like when your phone, when this thing here is like in your brain, it's got control of you, right? It's
Total
like,
control.
It's like it's like fucking in you.
It's impossible to ignore.
It's 100%. And like we often in the sauna, like we'll have our phones sitting there, and the ding will go off.
I know.
And it's that like adrenaline rush of like, what's that?
Yeah, a mixture of adrenaline, anxiety.
What's wrong?
What is it? Is this good, bad? Otherwise,
and you can see people literally disconnect from what you're talking about, what you're doing. Even if it's silent, you can see.
Oh, the light is inescapable.
It's just like, fuck.
So what do you reckon about this theory on screen time, phones? Do you reckon it's going to be a 5-year thing, 10 years, 20? Not at all. What do you reckon?
I think it'll become a bit of a fad. Like it'll become like sort of like the running hype. Like, oh, everyone's like lowering their screen time. Like I'm going to do the same. And it'll just be an interesting thing to see how long it lasts for. But I do think it'll happen. It's just how long people will either decide not to become connected or connected. But is it really disconnecting yourself, or are you actually really connecting?
Really connecting, yeah.
Because they say like it's you're being connected having your phone. Is it connection, or is it like this is connection?
This is connection, yeah, I agree.
But if we were sitting having this conversation over a text,
messaging each other,
that's not connection.
No, that's not it.
So I don't think, because like on the Light Phones website, it's like says along the lines of I'm going to get this completely wrong, but you're disconnecting to reconnect.
Right.
Because all the other phones are like stay connected. All the ads on iPhones like stay connected, like blah, blah, blah. But I don't think you're connected with a smartphone at all. Yeah, sure, I can see a message from you, but that doesn't mean I'm connected. with you.
No, I
It just
agree.
means that you've typed a few things and it's come through something and come down to me,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
connected to you in one bit.
I never used to understand why people would travel for business, like travel, for face-to-face meetings.
Yeah.
Like I always used to see that as being a bit excessive, but I think the older I've gotten and the more in tune with this I've become,
Yes,
the more appropriate that feels.
totally. And I dived into that theory last week,
Oh, yeah.
which was interesting.
Go on.
I was like lying in bed and I was like, fuck, we've gone the wrong way. Like humans as a whole, like we're so disconnected from what's actually happening between two parties. And I was like, I hate the way that the building industry is going. Like I remember when I took it over, you sat down at the end of the night, you wrote your quote out for someone, a job that you've been doing. You maybe have been doing it for the past week. You write this quote out and then you like fold it up, put it in an envelope and put your wee stamp on it, like your logo, whatever. And then the next day, either before work or after work, you rocked up there, had a cup of tea and handed it to them and discussed it there and then. And it was great. Loved it. Now we're sitting in a cold, dark office, writing this quote and then clicking a selfless button that sends it to a client when you're about to have a really deep and meaningful connection with them over the next 6 months. You've literally just pressed a soulless button. Here, go look at my price. Like that just is fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I'm going to print that off, put it in an envelope and rock up to their house and talk about it.
Yeah, because when someone gets an email with a quote, they're only really looking at one thing, right?
Yeah,
It's only price.
exactly.
The rest doesn't really matter.
No.
Right? Yeah.
So it's like, no, I don't want to be that person that just sends quotes like, oh, I sent 10 quotes this week. It's like, cool. I don't care. I want one quote hand delivered, talk to them, yes or no answer there and then. Like it just so much more personable than just a screen that you're staring at and pressing a button. I just don't like it.
Yeah. I don't like it either.
Like the technology and like the writing of the software, great, love it, perfect. But print it off, take it to them. They're about to spend $500,000 with you and you've just selflessly clicked a button.
Yeah, that definitely doesn't feel like an email type
No.
delivery.
You know what I mean?
I agree, yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I just, maybe I'm too old school, but I just think it needs to do the full cycle back to show respect to the client.
Maybe you're just attuned. Maybe you're just like aware of the way people are and the way they receive.
Because I'd love a personal quote. Like if I was getting work done and someone sent me an email and it was like, oh, $35,000 kitchen, I'd be like,
Oof.
oh, I guess I need to accept it. I need the kitchen.
Yeah.
But if someone rocked up with the quote, sat down, had a beer, had a cup of tea, whatever, talked about it, we're in the space that it's happening in, I'd be like, fuck yeah, start tomorrow. Like, there's excitement behind
Totally.
that.
Yeah.
Or is there not? Do we prefer an email that may go into the spam mail? Oh, did you get my quote? Oh, sorry, I haven't checked. You check spam mail, it's right there. It's like, oh, cool, great delivery.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's interesting.
I really was like thinking about it last week. I was just like, I think that needs to happen.
That's cool. Yeah, I like that.
And like you used to go to ITM or placemakers and you'd like send your plans in or hand deliver your plans in. And then they'd have them for like 2 weeks and then they'd give you your folder back of like what they'd price, like frame trusses, roof, insulation, jib. It was like in a folder. And now they just send it to you on email and you're just like scrolling through these pages and you're like flicking through. And then you start the project and you actually haven't got a real understanding of it, I don't feel. I don't feel like it's just reading something on a screen just doesn't seem to imprint in my brain the same. And then the other day I got a printed off version of it. I loved it. Flick through it, highlighted stuff, can like look at 2 pages at once and just this physical form of it. I was like, I know what I'm looking at now. I know what I've got. I know what I'm working with. And going into the project, you feel more confident because your preparation seems better.
That's cool.
Oh, let me just pull up my email with that price. It's like, oh, fuck. You know what I mean? It gives you
I
this.
know what you mean. Yeah. No, I feel the same way.
But we all talk about these great systems and processes and things. Like, fuck off. Give me a hard copy. I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to read it. I want to highlight it. I want to talk with you about it.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be concerned if my builder was constantly pulling up an iPad with his plans and building my house with him. Like, fuck off. I want A1 full set of blueprints to build my house. Like,
You can't zoom in on
let me see that.
finicky, right?
You're building a 400 square meter house and you're looking at a 150 millimeter phone. Doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah. It ties nicely into the chat around using the right communication tool for the right job. And so
100%.
whether that is using email occasionally,
Yeah.
like I think there are certain applications where it makes sense.
Definitely.
I think that text is fine. I think voice notes are fine. I think phone calls are fine. Like
Yeah.
they've all got their place.
Yes.
But I think we as humans probably aren't quite aware enough of when to use which one
Yes.
as a whole.
As a whole. Oh, totally.
Some people are better than others, of
Yeah.
course. But
And I think that's potentially where that light phone's just going to be really good, because it's just like there is no other option. Like, it's this home screen's literally just like
for
messages. Yeah, it's like, fuck yeah, I can't get distracted.
Yeah.
Because the amount of times I've hopped off a phone call and an Instagram notification pops up, you're like, I may as well check it.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
like,
not going to not check it.
and so you check it, and then you look at it, and then before you know it, it's like 30 minutes has gone past. And you're like, whoa.
Whoa.
And then another phone call comes.
Yeah.
And it's just that never-ending cycle of like, I hang up that phone call. Oh, another Instagram notification.
Yeah.
2 hours has gone past.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we've got a long way to come as a species
Oh, so
to
long.
optimize.
I just think we've almost, as society as a whole, I think we've walked down this road that I don't think's going in the right direction
I agree. Which is
with technology.
Which is ironic, given that we're producing content right this second.
Yeah. But I think the tools are great. Like, these are great. This is great. This is great. But let's use it in a great way, not just in a half-hearted, senseless manner.
Well put.
Because we're using the right gear for the right thing right now, aren't we?
That's it. Yeah. But using this on Instagram during the day when you should be productive
Is
is
not the right tool.
wrong tool.
Yeah.
Or
Like,
right
I'm not going
tool,
to go
wrong time.
fucking cut a bit of 4x2 with a Stanley knife.
No, that's right. That's it. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my view on it.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be 5 years.
5 years and there'll be a shift.
There'll be a big shift. I think it's starting now. People are like, whoa,
I think it is starting now.
like, my screen time's not good. You know, I think people are seeing that. Because everyone knows it.
Everyone knows it.
Everyone knows that they shouldn't be, you know, imagine, okay, let's say a corporate company has an office full of people and they've got a 8-hour workday. Within that workday, they might spend 2 hours on it, on their phone, probably more. You imagine going to your boss and being like, look, can you just pay me for 2 hours while I scroll Instagram? What do you
A
reckon?
ridiculous conversation.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's what's happening.
but that's what's happening.
Yeah. Crazy.
Or if I went to a client and was like, oh, there's an Instagram scroll
Yeah, there's a line item here.
of $600 because that's what I'm going to be doing. They'd be like, fuck off.
When you put it in that context, it's absolutely crazy.
It's stupid.
But yeah, that's what's happening.
And we all know it.
Everyone knows it. Yeah. No one's head is in the sand here. Nah.
Oh, let me go and have a toilet break that I don't need to actually go have, but I'm going to scroll Instagram for 30 minutes. Imagine telling your boss that. It'll go down like a cold cup of soup. Like,
Interesting.
that's my view on it anyway.
What are you doing for the rest of the year? Just ticked over the new financial year.
Yep.
Second
Tough
quarter
one.
is now in play.
Yeah.
Tough one.
Tough one.
Too much scrolling.
Too much scrolling. No, I've got some like really exciting internal stuff happening. Like, sort of, we've touched on it a wee bit about being more focused and going back to the basics and hand delivering stuff and actually talking more personable with people. Like, I'm really excited about this year. Got some really cool projects in the works. We've got a quiet couple of weeks and then it's just like fucking... It's on.
The big calendars showing.
It's showing. But until I didn't have that big calendar, it was like this airy-fairy, like...
Yeah, it's sometime around this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, I know next week is fucking on.
I might buy one of those.
Worth it.
Yeah. I have a tough time visualizing time, and especially when it comes to, like, say, like, if I ask you what's happening in 7 weeks, you don't really know, right?
Yeah.
But when you've got that big ass calendar,
I know what I'm doing in 7 weeks.
you can look at it in a glimpse.
Yeah, I'm doing a bathroom reno in 7 weeks.
Glance over at it. Yeah, it's good.
And every morning in my office when I'm in there for that hour of replying to people, I know where I am.
Yeah, you've got awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, you might not necessarily be staring at it, but every glance, every time you turn around, whatever, you're getting a mental image of it. Like, oh yeah, I sort of know, like, within days, you know what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's just, great.
That's cool. And you've bought another place?
Yeah. That was pretty cool. I think we touched on it a wee bit in that Manawa podcast.
Yes. Had you just settled at that time?
Just. And that was just so cool. It was a real cool process. Like, we sort of had looked at a few properties, and like I always say to people, like, a property has a soul, like a house has a soul or a face. And, you know, you look at them, you're like, it'll do. But you know it's not like what you want. You know it'll fit, like, tick 8 of the 10 boxes. And then I was literally just on Trade Me. And, like, this one just, like, I literally refreshed the page and it, like, went to the top. And I was like, fuck, it's cool looking. Clicked on it, flicked through it, and I was like, that's it. Called the agent straight away. And he's like, I was like, oh, I'm sort of looking at that property. He's like, what one? I was like, oh, the Rockwood Road one. And he's like, no, it hasn't gone to market. I was like, oh, I just refreshed Trade Me and it's on there now. He's like, fuck. He's like, oh shit.
Was it an accident?
Oh no, it was like supposed to be uploaded, but I don't think he'd like maybe like thought people would contact him within like minutes of it being uploaded.
Yeah.
And so we had a wee yarn about it, and then I was like, oh, like, can I come see it now? Because I want to buy it. And he's like, oh, well, you could do this weekend. And I was like, okay, rightio. So we rock up there, and there's like fucking heaps of people there. And I reckon because it had that beautiful face, that soul to it, like people liked it. It's just naturally a beautiful house. And I was like, oh, fuck, there's no chance I'm going to get it. Like, all these people here and blah, blah, blah. And then I drove away. I was like, no, I'm going to fucking get that. Like, fuck those other people. Like, they don't want it. Like, I want it. And another week went by and I was like, nah, let's go have another look at it. And like looked at it 3 times. And then the third time, as we were leaving, the agent was like talking with this couple, and I was like, walked up and I was like, oh, I'll chuck my unconditional offer in tonight, mate, and we'll have an answer within. And he's like, as he's finishing the conversation with the other people, you can see the other people like, oh, fuck.
Unconditional.
And as soon as I said that, I was like, fuck, I don't have anything sorted. And I've just blurted out that I'm going to put it up.
Verbally committed.
I was like, I've got to make something happen, man. And it was just like hustle for like a couple of days to get this through. And made it happen. There was a lot of stuff that like got put on the back burner, and I'm like paying for it now. But I know it was worth it. And fuck, it was just like we put the offer in, they verbally accepted it, so it brought the deadline forward. Then I didn't hear anything, and I was like, oh fuck, like what's going on? It was just this anticipation. I called him back, I was like, I need a price. Tell me a price, unconditional, to have a sold sticker on it. He's like, oh, 475? I'm like, done. He's like, "You serious?" I'm like, "Yeah." And so that was done. I got a phone call from 11 o'clock at night to say that, yeah, no, it's yours. I was like, good.
Wow. And how far through the renos are you?
So we've 90% completed the roof. Just need a good weekend to finish that off, and then the back of it's all pretty much painted, and now we're working our way around the front, and kitchen's all done. Garage is like on its way to being complete. Then we're just working our way back down the house. So it's going to take a while. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a 485 square meter house. Like, you get lost walking around it. Like, the kitchen's like 60 square meters or something. It's like, fuck.
Wow. So we're looking maybe next year sometime?
Next year we're going to do a podcast out there.
Yeah.
Finished.
When it's complete.
You
want to talk about what you can do with it? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wedding venue / lodgy sort of vibe out there. Like, you're looking out to the Torless Range. It's got this irrigation pond to the right of it. 6 acres of just beautiful land. And so just want like luxury wedding lodge that people can book out, stay, use the land, use the facilities, and even a luxury ski lodge is sort of what I'm pushing it towards through the winter. So like, you've got weddings through the summers and then ski season through the winter. Maybe a helipad there.
I was going to ask about that.
Where it lands, you've got a couple of real nice cars. They can get up and down the mountain. Get a nice chef in there to cook them food.
Maybe a helipad?
No, definitely a helipad.
Definitely a helipad. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that's what people, a lot of people want, is that like luxury. Like, you can have like a luxury apartment, say at like Terrace Downs or something like that. But it's not a luxury like building. Imagine booking out a whole building with 2 cars and a helipad that you get flown there, landed. You've got transport, you've got a house, you've got a chef. It's all looked after.
Just you and your group. Yeah.
And I just feel like there's real value in that. You don't need to think about anything.
It's a different offering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, you can go stay at Methven and rent a little room out and drive a car that's probably going to break down like halfway. Like, you can do that. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But that offering would be dope.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So this time next year, pretty much?
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I stop scrolling.
If you get the light phone up and running.
Yeah.
That's the iPhone.
Yeah. Like, we want sort of the outside complete now. Like, before winter's fully kicked in.
Yeah.
Just so that then you've got the winter to like hibernate inside and get some stuff done on the internal.
Yeah, nice.
Which I think it's a pretty fair timeline.
Yeah.
I think we're tracking probably a wee bit behind, but we've got this Easter period, as we all know, that like, if you take X amount of days off, you get 10 days of like holiday. So I think we're going to do that from a work business point of view. It's like, shut the business down for that 10 days, but then focus on Wind Whistle for
nice
10 solid days.
Yeah, I guess it's juggling it with client jobs and...
Yeah. I've booked it out on the big calendar. So
the big ass calendar.
So I know not to book anything through
there
that
you
time.
go.
So
it's locked in then.
Can't change it.
So imagine that, 10 solid days of distractionless, no scrolling.
Stop flirting with me.
No, think how much you'll get done.
I know. And over Christmas, we sort of did that. Like, consecutive days on something is priceless. It's just like the day after the day, after the day after the day, and you're like, okay, we're moving. Like, and then you're seeing the progress, and so then you want to do more, and then more, and it's just like this epic snowball effect. Like we've talked about, a phone being in a negative way, you can also have it in a positive way.
Yeah.
And so that was dope. And so I'm just looking forward to that same feeling of like, oh yeah, shit's happening.
Yeah.
Because it's all good doing it in the weekend, but you've got 5 days. Well, you've got a day and a half in the weekend of work, and then you've got 5 days of client work, and then you have a day and a half of that. So it's just like real disjointed. So like you never feel like you're moving quick enough.
And so you're not getting positive feedback, you're not getting that validation, and
Exactly.
so therefore it's just
And then there's that negative talk,
yeah.
and then it's that vicious cycle of I'm not good enough, and then it just that snowball in the wrong way. So you do need to get some, and if you can like find like public holidays and like be like, okay, I could work this day, but if I work on my place this day, then I'm still working, but I get like 3 or 4 days versus just 1.5.
Makes sense.
And then it's that positive mindset of like, oh yeah, I've got shit done over this day.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I like it. Tell us about the retreat experience. You're one of the few people I know that have done it.
Done 2 of them actually.
2 of them.
Yeah. Did the first one, well, we actually built a lot of the retreat, which was awesome. And that's on that the Manawa podcast. So we spent a lot of time there being disruptive and like banging shit. And that was awesome. But then being asked to go on the first retreat was like, I don't know actually how I feel about this because that's my workplace.
Yeah,
like
right.
I've built this stuff.
Different energy.
And so I was like, nah, actually I need to do that because it'll be a full circle of like start to finish. And the first one was like really awesome. It was like a good bunch of people from IHF that went out there and just really put ourselves out of comfort. Like, well, a lot of them were out of their comfort zone, which is great. I'm lucky that I had like a Steiner upbringing that had quite a holistic approach, and I understood it. You know, it wasn't like, what am I going on? What
It
am I
wasn't a
doing?
massive shock.
No,
Yeah.
like parents are very open to that sort of stuff. So I was aware of what I was going into, but it was just cool to see other people like the light bulb click, like, oh fuck, there's more to life than just a physical being. There's almost something that we can't explain, and there's no proof to explain it. But seeing that moment where it's like, oh,
Yeah. Mind-blowing
moment. Like we did this thing about understanding like where, like you can walk into a room and you know if it's a good feeling or a bad feeling without knowing the conversation.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, oh shit, I don't feel very welcome here. There's just been an
Something's
argument.
off here.
Something's
yeah.
off. Like but you can't explain it.
Yeah.
And that's what I say to people is like, that's what energy is. That you right there, you've explained to me. Oh, I'm not spiritual. But right there, you've explained to me what energy is.
Yes.
And so we did this wee exercise where we like walked and tried to stop when we could feel this energy around us.
Right.
And I remember doing that exercise as a kid at Steiner. And so I was paired with someone, and, they were not very aware of this thing. And so it was quite interesting, and I could feel them entering into my bubble. And so when it was my turn, like I knew where it was. And so I walked into it, walked out of it, then back into it, and then back out of it, and then stood right on the edge of it. They didn't know that because they had their eyes shut. But then when they opened their eyes, they explained that.
Wow.
It's like, well, there you go.
That's cool.
So it was like seeing people like embracing that was so cool. And like everyone was a wee bit standoffish, as you can expect in some of those circumstances. But by the end of it, we were everyone's best friends.
Very cool.
Because you're all in that vulnerable, like, oh, this is new, this is uncomfortable, this isn't me, this isn't what I'm used to. You're all in that boat. And so you're all doing it together. And so it's this sense of connection that by the end of it, you're like, fuck yeah, we did that together.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you loved it so much you went and did another one?
Yeah. Did a Dion one with, which is called Way of the Warrior.
Yeah.
That was hardcore. That was just like, the first one was just dipping your toes into that sort of spiritual side, but then Way of the Warrior was like, boom. You're like, fuck. Like, wasn't expecting that sort of thing. There were some real awesome people on there, like dope people that have probably been through stuff that me and you cannot even fathom. And so, like, I rocked up there a bit down and out about the week. I had a shit week, like, you know, stuff just not going my way, and I was sort of wasn't feeling it. And rock up, and straight away they're just like super accommodating and like brought me back up to that, like, nah, you're good. And then you start hearing some of their stories and you're like, okay, I'm definitely good.
I'm quite happy with what I've got.
100%. And when you're seeing what they're going through or have been through, you're like, I'm fucking lucky. I'm going to count my blessings and keep doing what I'm doing.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder.
Oh, 100%, because we can get so caught up in this rat race.
Oh, so precious, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yet, I'm not addicted to drugs. I haven't been abused. Like, I'm good. I'm actually really good.
Apart from your phone addiction.
Apart from my phone addiction. Which, again, I hardly went on it in that weekend.
Yeah.
It's just a form of terrible procrastination, that thing.
Yeah. Have you read that Napoleon Hill book? I think it's called Outwitting the Devil or something like that.
You mentioned it. You mentioned it the other day.
He talks a bit about that, not about phone addiction because it's like 100 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
But he talks about the weakness that we have is like being directionless and being vulnerable to distraction, essentially.
Interesting.
Or not having purpose. And so it's just interesting how it's like so old, yet things have almost come full circle.
Yeah, well, we're literally saying that everything's coming full circle.
Yeah, yeah. So having like time available in a bad way,
yes,
is a vulnerability that you can easily get off task.
100%. Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's especially if we're talking about a to-do list and you know there's one thing on there, it's almost a form of a coping mechanism. Like, you're like, I'll scroll for 5, then I'll do the task. But it's not really what you should be doing.
No.
Because it's just a really negative thing.
100%. Would you do a third retreat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
without a doubt.
You're committed to it.
I'm committed to it. Like, I don't think it costs much for what you get.
Yeah.
Like, you know, meals, accommodation, facilities, tools for your toolbox, and personable experiences, like one-on-one with like people that you may not ever have thought you would meet. Not from like a, wow, you're amazing point of view of like, whoa, you've gone through that, or like whatever, you know, like you might not think you'd ever sit down in front of a meth addict and have like a conversation about addiction.
Yeah.
But you're there doing it.
Learning.
And so like that to me is just like, you probably actually can't put a price tag on it.
No. And that's the way to look at it. And I think there's seemingly two types of person, right? The ones that look at spending money and investing from a ROI perspective.
Yeah.
You either see it as an investment or a cost, right?
Yes. Yeah,
And
yeah.
so rather than seeing the price tag and being like, oh, that's costing me.
Yeah.
Sort of costing you not doing it, right?
I reckon.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you've been there. There's something about that land that's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is like, 40 acres of
Just
manicured
beautiful.
land.
It's
Like,
so
it's
nice.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
Like normally it just used to be farmland, and now it's like beautifully crafted place where it's there for recovery and relaxation and healing. And yeah,
we do have to do that sauna episode out there.
I definitely think so.
What's the most amount of people you've seen in that sauna?
Close to 20.
Oof. It's a big sauna.
It's a big sauna. Biggest sauna in New Zealand, actually.
Is it?
Yeah. When we were building it, like on the phone with the lady about like what heater we need, I was like, oh, we need like this heater. And she's like, what? Why do you need that heater? I'm like, because that heater needs to heat this fucking sauna. She's like, oh shit. Oh, well, we don't stock that one. So it was just funny, like hearing like that side of it where we were building something that no one had really built.
It's not normal.
Yeah, it's not
like
normal.
a standard issue sauna.
You like look through it, it's got like glass both sides of it, like floating bench seats through it. This fucking massive sauna heater that holds almost half a ton of rock in it. Like, it's pretty cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
You still doing that one at your place, your other place?
Definitely on the list.
Yeah.
We got some plans drawn up for a sauna, plunge, and like gym. And whole heap of landscaping and just super dope. Like, looks fucking epic.
Yeah.
But then like that opportunity, I'd done those because I was looking for the next thing. Of like, okay, Forbes is getting a bit bored now. I need something to like do, and that was gonna be the thing. But then the opportunity of this place popped up, and it was like,
I see, gotcha.
it was like that's too like this is like it can happen, but this is like an opportunity that probably doesn't come very often. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. Let's smash that out, get that up and running. And then this is just always sitting there for like when I want to.
Can be done at any stage.
Yeah. And like if we get really quiet with work, then let's chuck the boys on it and do it as a actual client project. And I think I probably would do that regardless, because it does take a lot to do it in your weekends, as we've just said. Like, you could even just get the boys like to do the big push, the big grunt stuff, and then in the weekend you can just potter around doing the small stuff. But definitely want to do it.
Yeah.
Because it just like enhances the barn. Like,
Yeah, it's so cool.
have you seen the plans for it?
Yeah.
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 So cool.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would that cost though?
I think we'd sort of yarn with the QS around like 150.
Oh yeah.
So not too bad.
No.
Obviously that's like me being a builder and like stuff like that. But I think it would add more than that to the property, because people would probably see it and go, oh, I can just work from home and have a couple of PT sessions a day and probably make quite a comfortable living. Like,
Yeah. Well, that's the other way to look at it, right?
yeah,
Like, as we say just before with the cost versus investment,
true.
you know, like if you were to have that facility available to you, what would be the return? Yeah, if you combine the capital value of the property plus the usage.
Yes.
I don't know, it's just a different way to look at things, right?
Yeah. I think you've always got to look at things differently.
And it just gets you thinking, like, what else is there that you could be spending money on that's going to create a great return?
That's right. Well, because regardless, you're going to get a return on it, whether it be the sale of the property or you create something that's going to be making you money while you've got the property.
Mm-hmm.
There's no actual downside to it.
Not really. I mean, I guess it's just getting those numbers right so that you're not overdoing it from a labour of the guys, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah. Well, I know that I'll never overcapitalise on that property because it just got it so cheap. And so, like, most people were buying their first house for like 700,000. I'm not even near that with both of those houses that I've got.
Yeah, that's interesting too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that illustrates the ability to make some significant gains if you do buy right.
Yeah. Painful though. Like, you've got a lot of fucking hard work to make it seem worthwhile. And like, people look at that barn and go, oh, that's so like nice. Like, but it's like, fuck, you didn't see the nights in the rain, the fucking early mornings, the afterworks, the how am I going to pay this? How am I going to do that? Like, no one sees that. And so it's just like, that's why I don't think I'll ever sell it, because it's like, I can't, it's priceless to me, those things.
Mm-hmm.
Of like that constant grit and perseverance through probably what all odds were probably stacked against you,
Yeah. I think not enough people take those three commodities into account when looking at a project, right?
Yeah.
The time, energy, and money.
Yeah.
Those three. They're all different, right?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Interesting.
It is. Should we wrap it up?
I reckon that was a good podcast.
Good one. Number 4.
Number 4. Let's see how many we can get up to, eh?
Number 5. I wonder what'll be happening this time next year, other than the property being complete, helipad installed, be available for rent.
Yeah. Maybe we do like a big ski lodge, sauna,
Mega podcast.
mega podcast get everyone there, do a ski session,
That'd be cool.
and a big podcast afterwards.
Are you gonna have a sauna at that property?
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course.
There's like this wee dope little like milking shed, like the original milking shed for like 100 years ago. It's got like awesome like concrete sides, and I just want to build this like sauna in it, and it like glass frontage, and it looks out to the back of Castle Hill.
Wow.
So that's where I want the sauna,
So good.
sitting there like looking at the back of Castle Hill.
All right, let's do that.
Yeah, lock it in next year. I'll put it on the big ass calendar.
Does the big ass calendar go?
No.
No, you need a 2026 one.
Surely he'll be putting those out.
Surely.
Surely.
I mean, now's the time to think about 2026.
Well, it is. We're almost halfway through. Did I just say that?
Quarter.
We're almost halfway.
We're almost halfway.
We're 2 months away from being halfway.
That's true. Big ass calendars.
That's pretty fucking scary.
Get him soggy.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Cool, man.
Yeah, awesome.
Great chatting.
Oh, bring on the next one.
And you're going to have a light phone by then as well.
100%. I'm not going to be addicted.
No, it's a good call to action. Reassess your priorities and your screen time.
100%.
So good.
Yeah.
Cool, man. All right. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
See you back next year.